My mom turned my suffering into money, and on her wedding day, I showed everyone exactly how much she made from it. I was 9 years old when my mom created the Instagram account. She said it was to share family moments, to keep in touch with distant relatives. I believed her. Why wouldn't I? She was my mom. The first photo she posted was of me crying on my birthday. It wasn't just any crying, it was the day my dog died. I was holding his leash, sitting on the kitchen floor with tears streaming down my face. She asked me to look at the camera. I looked. She took the photo. The caption said, "Today, my princess lost her best friend. Her little heart is broken. Pray for us in this difficult time." In 2 hours, the photo had over 1,000 likes. In one day, 5,000. People commented things like, "Poor thing, my heart is broken, may God comfort you." Some started asking how they could help. My mom responded with a link to an online fundraiser to help with the emotional costs of this difficult moment, she wrote. That week, she raised almost $3,000. I didn't see a cent of that money, but I saw my mom buy a new phone, an iPhone. She said she needed a better camera for family photos. That's when everything changed. Suddenly, my mom always had her phone in her hand. She didn't film the happy moments, she waited for the bad ones. When I fell and scraped my knee, she grabbed her phone before grabbing a Band-Aid. When I got a bad grade at school, she filmed me crying instead of comforting me. When I fought with a friend, she asked me to tell everything in front of the camera. At first, I didn't understand. I thought maybe she was just documenting our life. But then I started to notice a pattern. The more I suffered, the more attention she got. The more I cried, the more money appeared. She created a complete story around us. On social media, we were a struggling family, a single mother raising a daughter with difficulties. She posted about bills she couldn't pay, about expensive medications I supposedly needed, about medical treatments that never existed. And people believed it. Why wouldn't they? Who would lie about something like that? When I was 11, she posted a video of me having a panic attack. I was in the bathroom, hyperventilating, thinking I was going to die. She filmed everything from under the door. The video got over 50,000 views. She made almost $10,000 in donations that month. I asked her why she had done that, why she had filmed me in the worst moment of my life. She said people needed to see reality, that we were helping other families going through the same difficulties, that I should be proud to be an inspiration. But I didn't feel like an inspiration. I felt exposed, violated. Every bad moment of my life was on the internet for thousands of people to see. My classmates started looking at me differently. Some felt sorry, others mocked. "Oh, it's the girl from the internet who's always crying," they said. I begged my mom to stop. She promised she would, but she didn't. She just became more discreet, started posting old photos, reusing content, and when she didn't have new content, she created situations. One day, she spilled milk on my school uniform on purpose right before I had to leave for school. When I cried in frustration, she filmed it. "Another difficult day for my warrior," the caption said. "She can't even go to school in peace." I was 12 when I finally understood what was happening. I found her computer open. She had forgotten to close the bank tab. I saw the deposits, saw how much money was coming in every month. It wasn't pennies, it was thousands of dollars, from donations, from advertising, from partnerships with brands that wanted to be associated with our inspiring story. I started taking screenshots of everything, of the bank deposits, of conversations with brands, of emails planning future posts, of messages where she talked with other influencers about how to generate more engagement with emotional content. I saved everything in a secret folder in my email. I didn't know what I would do with it, but I knew that one day I might need it. Years passed, I kept growing, and the content changed. She couldn't freely post photos of me crying anymore because I was old enough to refuse, so she changed the narrative. Now I was the rebellious teenager, the ungrateful daughter. She posted about how hard it was to raise a teenager, about how I didn't understand the sacrifices she made, about how she was a dedicated mother who didn't get the recognition she deserved. And people kept believing, kept donating, kept commenting that she was a saint for not giving up on me. The truth is that she had a closet full of designer clothes. She traveled every year. She dined at expensive restaurants. All this while telling me we didn't have money for me to take English classes or buy a laptop for school. When I was 17, she met a man, Ricardo. He was a businessman, had his own money. For the first time, I saw my mom in love with something other than likes and comments. She started posting less about me and more about their relationship. She wrote, "I found my happy ending." 6 months later, they got engaged. The marriage proposal was live-streamed on Instagram. Of course it was. My mom planned a huge wedding. She invited all her most loyal followers, those who donated religiously, those who commented on every post. She called them family and said they were part of our journey. That's when I had an idea. I spent the next 3 months compiling everything, every post, every donation, every cent she had made exploiting my pain. I created a complete presentation with numbers, with screenshots, with a timeline showing how each crisis in my life corresponded to a spike in donations. On the wedding day, I offered to make a speech. My mom was surprised but happy. She thought I had finally accepted everything, that she had realized she had always done the best for me. The ceremony was beautiful, perfect decoration, flowers everywhere, a professional photographer capturing every moment. My mom was radiant in her white dress. Ricardo smiled beside her, and the guests, those faithful followers, were all there, some even crying with emotion at being part of this special moment. It was time for the speeches. I went up on stage, connected my laptop to the projector, and began. Good evening, everyone. For those who don't know me personally, I'm the bride's daughter. Many of you know me from the internet. You saw me grow up on my mom's social media. You saw my worst moments, my most vulnerable moments, and many of you from the bottom of your hearts tried to help. My mom was smiling. She still didn't know what was coming. Today, I want to thank you for your generosity, but I also want to show you where that money went. I clicked on the first slide. It was a photo of me at 9 years old, crying over my dog died. Next to it, a screenshot of the online fundraiser, $3,200. This photo was taken on the worst day of my childhood. My dog had just died. I was destroyed. And instead of comforting me, my mom grabbed her phone and took this photo. You donated $3,000. Does anyone know where that money went? I showed the photo of the iPhone she bought 3 days later. The room was silent. My mom had stood up from her chair. I continued, slide after slide, every moment of pain, every photo of tears, every video of suffering, and next to it, the numbers, how much she made, how much she profited, what she bought with that money. At 11, I had my first panic attack. My mom filmed it. Made $10,000, bought that Louis Vuitton bag she loved so much. At 13, I broke my arm. She documented everything at the hospital. $8,000, trip to Cancun. At 15, I had depression. She made a series of posts about mental health. $15,000, new car. I showed the total. In 8 years, my mom had profited over $200,000 using my suffering. I want to thank everyone present here today. Your generosity helped my mom build a comfortable life. Unfortunately, it didn't help build mine. Every cent you donated thinking you were helping me was used to finance her lifestyle. While you worried about my medical treatments, she was buying designer shoes. While you prayed for my recovery, she was planning the next crisis she could exploit. My mom was trying to reach me, but Ricardo held her back. He was pale. Apparently, he didn't know about any of this either. So, once again, thank you. Thank you for making this wedding possible. It was paid for, in large part, with the money you donated, believing you were helping a child in need. I hope you enjoy the party. After all, you helped pay for it. I turned off the projector, grabbed my laptop, and left the room. Behind me, I heard the chaos begin. People shouting, my mom crying, confused voices trying to understand what had just happened. I didn't stay to see the rest. I already had a hotel room reserved. I already had my bags packed. I was 2 months away from turning 18 and already had a plan to leave home as soon as I was legally able. In the following days, the story exploded. Some of the guests posted about what happened. My mom's account started losing thousands of followers. People who had donated demanded explanations. Some even threatened to sue for fraud. My mom tried to do damage control. She posted a crying video saying I was lying, that I was a problematic daughter trying to ruin her special moment. But it was too late. I had already posted all the evidence on an anonymous account. The screenshots didn't lie. The numbers didn't lie. Ricardo canceled the wedding. Well, technically the ceremony had already happened, but he filed for annulment. Discovering that the woman he had married was a fraud was too much for him. My mom called me every day. Tearful messages saying I had destroyed her life, that I was ungrateful, that she had done everything for me, that money had paid for food, clothes, a roof over our heads. But I knew the truth. She had a stable job that paid all our basic expenses. The donation money was extra. It was for luxuries. It was to maintain the appearance of a perfect life while selling the narrative of a difficult one. A few months later, I turned 18. I moved into a small apartment that I shared with 2 college roommates. I blocked my mom on everything, cut contact completely. Some people criticized me, said I had gone too far, that no matter what she had done, she was still my mother, that I should have resolved this privately, as a family. But they didn't understand. It had never been private. My mom had made every moment of my life public, had sold my pain to strangers on the internet, had profited from my suffering. If she could do all that publicly, I could expose the truth publicly too. Today, 3 years later, I'm doing well. I'm in therapy, I'm in college, I have a part-time job. I built a life away from cameras, away from the spotlight, away from the constant need to turn emotions into content. My mom is still on social media. Her account never fully recovered. She has a few thousand followers, mostly curious people who want to see what she'll post next. She changed her focus. Now she posts about self-care and overcoming, about how to recover from betrayals. She never mentions my name, but occasionally posts vague things about ungrateful children and how some people don't understand the sacrifice of being a mother. I don't look anymore. I don't care. She can rewrite the story however she wants for the few followers she has left. I know the truth, and now many other people know it too. Sometimes I wonder if I did the right thing, if exposing everything that way at that moment was the best choice. But then I remember all the times I begged her to stop, all the times I cried asking for privacy, all the times she chose likes over me. And I know that yes, I did the right thing. Because it's not just about my story. There are thousands of children out there whose lives are being documented without consent, whose worst moments are being shared by parents who prioritize engagement over privacy, who grow up feeling that their emotions are commodities, that their value lies in how many likes they can generate. These children deserve better. They deserve parents who protect them instead of exploiting them. They deserve to grow up without cameras pointed at their faces every time they cry. They deserve to have their bad moments comforted, not documented. I can't go back in time and change what happened to me, but I can use my story as a warning. I can show where this path leads. I can expose the reality behind these seemingly innocent mommy blogger accounts and inspiring families. Because in the end, behind every emotional post, there's a real child with real feelings, with real pain. And that child didn't ask to have their life turned into content, didn't agree to have every tear monetized, didn't choose to grow up under the eyes of thousands of strangers. I didn't choose that, but I chose how it would end, and I ended it my way, with the truth, raw,
uncomfortable, but necessary. My mom built an empire on top of my suffering. I brought it down with a click, and I don't regret it bit one.